What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Chicago Bears. Now, a little at-home edition. I've kind of redone my office, the studio. That super chatter, Harrison's messy desk, no longer can claim that anymore. So we're rocking. We're ready to go. Day 2 of rookie minicamp is in the books. So thought we would have a few nuggets on that. We also heard from both coordinators today, including Declan Doyle. And that's where I want to start here, as he covered a lot of topics. Obviously, he was asked about some of the rookies, but also about his early impressions of Caleb Williams. It's Declan's first time as an offensive coordinator. He was around Bo Nix last year, who obviously had a lot of success under Sean Payton and with the Denver Broncos. And one thing really stood out to me when he was asked about Caleb. He kind of went on a monologue raving about his work ethic, saying he really wants it. He's here after hours trying to get it right. We're throwing a lot at him, and he's trying to get it right. Said he came in last Saturday, which was an off day for the team, and he was in the indoor practice facility by himself, just working on mental reps. And that's what you want to hear, right? Year 2 for Caleb. It's an important summer for him coming up. He's got to learn this new offense, and they've consistently said we're going to throw a lot on his plate, and we'll dumb things down from there as we need to. So it sounds like he's attacking this thing the way you need to. It sounds like he wants to be great and wants to take that next step as a quarterback and ultimately win games for this football team, because that's what this whole thing is about when it comes to 2025. This whole offseason has been about getting Caleb Williams on the right track. They hired Ben Johnson. He then hired a pretty formidable coaching staff. They go get Joe Tooney, Jonah Jackson, Drew Dahlman. They've been draft Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. Like, they have done just about everything they could do when it comes to, hey, we drafted this guy number 1 overall last year. We mismanaged things a year ago. Poor coaching staff, poor plan, XYZ, so on and so forth. We are going to do everything we can to get this thing on track, because we have to make this work. Caleb's our guy, and we have to make it work in 2025 and beyond. If nothing else, the Bears need to feel good about Caleb Williams as their franchise quarterback by the end of this season, like going into 2026, regardless of wins, regardless of losses. And we all want to win. We all want this team to be in the playoffs. I think they can be in the playoffs, and I think Caleb's growth and success would be a big reason for that. But if nothing else, we got to feel good about the quarterback, or at least have a clear answer, even if that answer is not what we want it to be. I don't anticipate that being the case. This guy has way too much talent and ability to just flat out fail 2 years into his NFL career, in my opinion. So far, so good. It's kind of that time of the offseason where there's not a lot of negative stories, right? Like, you're not going to hear a lot of doom and gloom, but it's good to hear Declan Doyle come out and say, yeah, like, the guy's in the building after hours. He's working at it, and he's trying to be great, trying to do what it takes to be great. So definitely was excited to hear that. Okay, before we get to the next story here, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. We're here on a Saturday, getting you guys caught up on the latest from rookie minicamp. We'll get to a big story on that here in just a second. But I would appreciate your love, appreciate your support. And we're back locked and loaded, set up in our at-home studio. So we'll be able to bring you guys more content on off days when relevant for this channel. So appreciate the support, and let's continue to build this thing. Okay, Luther Burden the third. Was he injured today? I'm not exactly sure. I am hoping not. So we saw a few reporters. Sorry, I got to X out of this window here. Saw a few reporters tweet out today that he landed awkwardly toward the end of practice on the football and was kind of holding his kind of side, his oblique area, I guess, if you will. That's one of those. Was the wind knocked out of him? Did he, is there a bone bruise or something like that? Declan was asked about it after practice. He said he'll defer all injury questions to Ben Johnson, who did not speak to the media today. I'm not going to make this more than what it is, but obviously something to monitor, right? I mean, you'd hate to see one of your premium draft picks suffer an injury in a rookie minicamp practice. Now, we'll see tomorrow if he's out there on the practice field. We'll see if we get some sort of update from the Bears tomorrow. either way, I would guess it's not something super serious based on what happened. This wasn't like, his cleat got stuck in the ground and his knee went the other way or something like that. But still, certainly something that we're going to keep an eye on here on Bears Now. I'm excited about Luther Burden and his potential in this offense. I think he's got the right mindset. I think he's got the skill set. I think he's just got the overall ability and potential to be a really, really good player in this offense. And I think this year, I don't think this is, some 2-year project here. So hopefully there's no injury, a minor or major, because you'd hate to have a little setback here. But we'll see tomorrow. If there's any concern at all, I'm sure they'll keep him out. Like, even if he did just get the wind knocked out of him, but maybe has a small bruise or something, like, there's no reason to push it for rookie minicamp. Like, you'd rather save him for that first OTAs, which I believe starts on May 20th. So we'll see where that goes, but fingers crossed that nothing major there is occurring when it comes to Luther Burden. I feel like we would know if it was, so I think we're okay on that front. Okay, let's talk Shemar Turner now, as the Bears defensive lineman out of Texas A&M, is obviously an intriguing player. They took him in the second round. He had potential round one potential before suffering a foot injury, or it had a scan that showed a foot injury. Can't remember exactly. Early on in the pre-draft process, that caused him to not be able to work out at the combine and pro day and all that stuff. So he fell late to second round. And when they drafted him, I was like, okay, versatile piece. He's played defensive tackle this past year, played edge before that. They didn't draft an edge, so maybe their plans is to play him at edge at least somewhat. And that could still be the case, but Dennis Allen kind of threw some cold water on that. He said, yes, he is versatile, but our initial plan and goal is to teach him and to develop him as a defensive tackle, both in the 3-tech spot and the 1-tech spot. So this is not a player they're going to move around a ton early, it sounds like. Now, maybe both interior spots, which I don't really blame them. You don't want to be like, okay, for 6 reps, you're going to get 3 tech reps. For 4, 1 tech, and then you're going to get 3 snaps at edge. Like, it probably makes sense to narrow the focus initially and then expand from there, which is kind of what Dennis Allen alluded to. But it doesn't sound like, even if he does play some edge, that early on, that's a major plan of focus for him. So, regardless of my opinion of that, if that's best suited for fit or not for him as a player personally, my immediate thought is the Bears need to go get an edge rusher. And I've thought this for a while regardless, but I think with these comments, I even think it more, because your edge group looks like Montez Sweat, Dio Adengbo, who they say is going to kick inside some, Austin Booker, Daniel Hardy, Dominique Robinson. I think you got to get someone in there. There's 5 edge rushers that come to mind. Zadarius Smith, who's still a good pass rusher and passable against the run, certainly better as a pass rusher, almost 14% pass rush win rate last year. Jadeveon Clowney, who recently got released, productive as a pass rusher, but has been better against the run historically. Big, physical, long arms. He checks a lot of Dennis Allen physical prototype boxes, so maybe he's someone they would consider. I think those are the top 2 guys. Then it dips a little bit. Matthew Judon, a player Ryan Poles tried to trade for last training camp. He ended up going to the Falcons. Wasn't that great, but you could probably get him for a cheap price tag. Has a long history of being one of the better pass rushers in the NFL. I think his best days are behind him, but could he be in a rotation? Sure. I would throw Von Miller into that. Best days are behind him, but did have 6 sacks last year in a relatively limited role with the Buffalo Bills. So he's a player to keep an eye on. And then I'll throw Preston Smith in there as well. Was with the Packers for a long time. Got traded to the Steelers midseason last year. Purely rotation at this point, but certainly knows the division and is a capable edge rusher. But I'm keeping an eye on Clowney and Zadarius Smith. If you could get one of those guys signed up to come in, be your third edge type, and probably play a lot if Adengbo is going to rotate inside and in general, obviously just rotate in and out, because defensive linemen don't play 90+% of the snaps typically, unless you're Max Crosby. I think that would be a good move. Again, Smith, better pass rusher, passable against the run. You're not this not an Ngakoue situation where it's a huge detriment, but not really a plus run defender, whereas Clowney, plus run defender, kind of hit and miss as a pass rusher, but last year had a pass rush win rate of almost 13% per Pro Football Focus. So certainly could do a whole lot worse. I think it's a pick your flavor. Do you want someone who stops the run first? If so, take Clowney. If you want someone who's more productive as a pass rusher, you would take Za'Darius Smith. All right, those are some news and notes from training camp. Training camp's a couple months away. Rookie mini camp today. My name is Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to this episode of Chicago Bears Now. We hope to see you guys soon. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and bear down.